vortex. I just fell in my garage. Can you look and see? I noticed that I was bleeding. I'm not going to the hospital, don't worry. I didn't even want to go to the hospital when I totaled my last vehicle. And I was limping, covered in bruises. Did not want to go. And it wasn't just because I didn't have health insurance. It was mainly because, like, I don't trust doctors. And I figured that they could run tests on me, but the test would probably prove that I was healing just fine, because every single time that I go to the doctor, they always tell me that, essentially they just say you're delusional, you know? So, well, I already knew that. I didn't need to pay like $90 to be told that shit. But, anyway. I was thinking about some shit that happened last night. So, in case you didn't catch the video, I approached this satanic girl last night, which was probably a mistake. Because satanic people typically don't want shit to do with somebody that's not satanic. And I guess she couldn't believe that I just walked up to her and told her that I was a Christian. But it's like so many leftists, they think that it's a major blow to Jesus, calling him a communist. But that's not true, because if you look at the way that they operated because of him, it's very, very communist. It's just that we have this really disgusting idea of what communism is based off of yet another disgusting idea of what capitalism is. And I was thinking about how people don't want to get involved with things because of those negative stereotypes. And so oftentimes they will go the other extreme and they'll do something that doesn't make any sense, but it's mainly so they don't have to be like everybody else. They don't have to do the same thing that they think is really boring. And I'm sure that somebody real smart is going to make that accusation with me, considering the fact that I don't have a smartphone still. But I really don't want one, y'all. It's just that they're like, I need to like write down a list of reasons why I don't have a smartphone, so that I could just like give it to people that have any questions, and then I don't have to get into an argument. But yeah, so I do think that like most people in this country would find that really offensive, and they would be mad if you said that Jesus was a communist. Even if you look at all the stuff that he advocated for, it's definitely not capitalist. So, but they always think of it like Soviet Russia. You know, they think of Mao and Stalin. It's really hard for them to look at it objectively. I just think that looking at anything objectively is really difficult, because people are emotionally invested in different things, you know? I look at religion objectively, and I'm sure that a lot of Christians will be mad about that. You know? I think that it's okay if you don't believe in something, because, you know, if you're supposed to, you will eventually. Because God knows what's right for you. And so I feel like people trying to push that onto others is wrong. And if you don't want leftist lunatics doing that eventually, with all the bullshit they believe, then you probably shouldn't tell them they're going to burn in hell for being gay, because it's just going to make them even more gay, okay? Is that what you want? Do you want everybody to be as gay as they possibly can be? Anyway. Yeah, this other comic saw me reading the Bible and was like, are you for real? Like, you're actually reading that? And I was like, yeah, dude. And he was like, you really believe that? And I was like, yeah, man. And he's like, that's so weird, because you seem like you're the type to debunk stuff. Well, I do think that, yeah, a lot of people read the Bible to debunk it. Or they read stuff, you know, like Ben Shapiro and saw that Barbie movie just so he could take notes and debunk it the whole time, you know? It's like, is that really the right word? Debunk? Because they usually use that term whenever they're talking about conspiracy theories. Yeah, that's true. Like, they don't really use that term when it comes to anything else. So I wonder if that's just a term that's specific to outwitting conspiracy theorists. As if conspiracy theorists give a fuck about that. You know? Like, you wouldn't be, like, on the fringe if you believed mainstream stories. You know? Like, what makes you on the fringe isn't the fact that you're, like, reading articles that nobody else reads. It's the fact that you don't care that nobody else is reading those articles like you think that you should, regardless. So, once again, FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Everybody has that fear of missing out. So, whenever they're around somebody that's conspiratorial, they just can't believe that they don't want to fit in with the really awesome Americans that believe MSNBC. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I can't really explain, like, why I believe the things that I believe. And I feel like that's a common problem, like, with the intellectuals. Like, they want an explanation. They want something that's totally rational to them. But that doesn't make any sense to me, because a lot of the stuff that they believe in, like, just because you can prove it, like, okay, so this is a steering wheel, right? This is a steering wheel. I can steer with this wheel, you know? But that's just what we call it in this particular time and space, you know? It might be something completely different somewhere else. But this is the reality that we live within. And so, yeah, if you question that, people will just naturally think you're really stupid, or they'll think that you're suicidal because you don't care what the status quo says about it, you know? Well, that's how I read the Bible. I just read it for myself. I didn't read it to debunk it. I didn't read it to prove anything, yes or no, yay or nay, right or wrong, good or bad. I just read it because I felt inspired to read it. And I'm really glad that I did. Because now I get to go to heaven!